All right. Hello,
Okay.
everybody.
Hi.
Good morning. I mean, good evening. Are we the same? Are we the same time zone? Is it also 1900 there? Yeah.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Yes.
Okay.
You have
Summertime.
we have summertime, but this is the only difference, but the temperature is the same.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Hi, everyone. And hi, Tony. It's great to have you here for our Africa briefing. And with your role as a local safety guide and flight instructor in Africa, we are all already looking forward to any insights, advice, and stories that you might share. And this will help us make this adventure both safe and also unforgettable. So yeah, let's dive in. To get started, Tony, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your background? So we would love to hear about your flying journey and anything that might help us prepare for this adventure.
I hate talking about myself, but there we go. So I always wanted to be a pilot, but unfortunately grew up in a very poor family and could never afford flight lessons. So I'm a bit of a late bloomer. I only got my license once I had money, when I had my own business, and at the age of 42. I had my own 182 for 10 years. And then after 10 years, I thought I should go into the commercial world. Actually sold my business, and I realized I was too young to sit on my backside and didn't have enough money in the bank. So I did my commercial and did charters for 2 years. That was between 2008 and 2010. And then charter market kind of died a little bit. And I then did my instructors, and I've been instructing since 2009, basically. I am approaching 10,000 hours of log time, but I've got at least 2,000 or 3,000 hours of bush pilot flying hours, and people flying with people like yourselves, which obviously I do not log. I'm just there as a guide. So I'm very fortunate that for 25 years I've been doing this kind of business, flying safaris, as well as the bush pilots, which gives me a lot of, shall we say, you learn more teaching other people than anything else. So I'd like to know a little bit about you folk as well. We could leave it till you come here, but whether there are experienced or instructors, or I mean, I've had everything. I've had a fresh PPL come out from France with 57 hours and do the bush course. I've had a 22,000 hour Airbus 340 Lufthansa captain come and do the course. And everything in between. So and they're all excited and happy to learn something new. A lot of things they've forgotten flying that sort of commercial stuff. But so most of my time is taken up with ab initio instruction, but I enjoy the advanced simulator flying, as well as obviously multi-engine is far more interesting. But bush courses and the kind of flying you're going to do is obviously restricted to single engine stuff. Yeah, I can assure you it's all very well planned. We're well prepared for you. We don't do anything funny. We do stuff that you're never going to be able to do at home, low level flying over towns and things like that, quite legally. And we like to take you out of your comfort zone. By that I mean I've experienced that a lot of people just are scared of flying low level. By that I mean you never fly low where you haven't already been, for one thing. You know, I'm talking now about the bush course. We obviously won't do that on the flying safari, but it's a fun thing while you're learning new stuff, and most importantly, getting comfortable with the airplane, because most people, a fresh PPL doesn't really know how to do a proper short field landing or a proper stall recovery and such like stuff. And you're not doing the full 6 days, so I don't know if we'll get to it, but what we like to do on the 6th day when we do the full course, we actually cover up the airspeed indicator so that you can now learn to fly by feel. You should be able to feel when the airplane's ready to lift off, and likewise on approach, flying purely by feel. So that's one thing. I mean, we're going to brief a lot more, so I don't want to talk too much here, but your 3 senses, what can you see, what can you feel, what can you hear? Those senses need to be wide awake all the time, and you use those to fly the aeroplane. You know, when you're flying a jet or a King Air or PC-12 or something like it, you've got to fly the numbers. But our aeroplanes, you just fly it by feel, yeah. So I don't know if that gives you an idea of what I've done. Probably 140, 150 bush courses. I've just got back from a course through Namibia. I probably do about 5 or 6 flying safaris with people like yourselves. Some people, I just do the planning for them and they go off and do their own thing. But in your case, I'm there to take care of pre-flight, flight planning, checking the weather, checking for fuel, etc., for the trip, so that you don't have to worry about all that.
Sounds fantastic. And I'm really impressed by the experience that you bring with you, and what you told us about the things that you're going to do with us sounds really exciting. So yeah, thank you for your introduction. So
Good.
I would say before we continue further, let's do a quick introduction round. So Tony can get us a little bit better. Shall we, Alex?
Absolutely, we should do that. And I'm also very impressed. And I'm really looking forward to the Bush pilot course. And I think every one of us will learn a lot in this time. So thanks for that.
Good.
Yes, I think everyone should share his name and maybe say also something about the flight experiences and what was excited about for this trip. Wrap up with a memorable statement about yourself. What I mean with this, I will go first. I just tell you where I'm coming from and what I really wish, what we would love to do. So I'm Alex, one of the organizer, and I did my PPL pilot license in 2020. Currently, I have about 204 flight hours. And my passion for flying starts back in 2008 when a pilot spontaneously invited me to join him on a flight. And after I lived through a few of curveballs, I was finally able to fulfill my dream of earning my own pilot license in 2020. So it took 12 years to get there. But however, I did it. It was a dream, so I did it. Now, after so many years of dreaming about flying, I'm even more excited to take it further and fulfill my next goal of flying in Africa, especially doing the Bush pilot course and, of course, the safari. So I think this will bring me a lot of experiences to get a much more better pilot. And what should when you think of me or my hope is by the end of the tour. So if you think of me, I am always there for deep talks, for a partner in crime, and of course, always for a stupid joke that makes you all laugh. So this is something what I want to bring in this group, and so that we have a lot of fun together and have nice conversations. Monica,
Sounds good.
you. Oh, sorry, Tony.
I said that sounds very good.
Yeah, hopefully, because this is main important. We want to fly, we want to have fun, and we want to have a great time together.
Absolutely.
Monica, you want to go next?
Yes. Okay. So yeah, as for me, I'm Monica, and together with Alex, I'm the founder of our flight community Lovers, and I earned my PPL at the end of 2018, and so far I've accumulated around 300 hours of flight time by now. I also gained some experiences flying in foreign countries like in USA and of course in Europe, but outside Germany. And I'm always eager to explore new countries and regions, and I love sharing those experiences with others. So that's why I'm really excited to go to Africa with our fabulous crew here in the room. And as to the fun fact about me, so how can you remember me? Well, when you think of me, then think of Indiana Jones. I'm curious. I think I would say I'm calm under pressure, and I'm always up for the next big thing. So hand over to Melanie. Tony, you wanted to say something?
No, I'm saying it sounds very interesting. Just before we go on, are you all from the same club or airfield, or
No.
how did you all get together?
Maybe we can include this in our introduction, how we met, how we got to know Alex and Monica.
Absolutely.
So, because we are not all from the same area, and we didn't grow up in the same airfield.
Okay.
But partly. So yeah, maybe then I go next. So we finish all the girls first. My name is Melanie. I'm actually I got my license at the same airfield as Alex and Monica in a very, very small local area in Bavaria. And I think actually it's the smallest runway in Germany, or at least close to that.
One of the smallest.
One of the smallest, yeah.
Meters.
So
yeah, 408 meters.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Sure.
so we had a very good good education there. But now I'm living close to Frankfurt, so I moved kind of from the smallest to one of the largest, but I don't fly in Frankfurt. It's a more smaller airfield in the south of Frankfurt. Yeah, I did my lessons. I got my license in 2020, same as Alex, but I think I have only half of the experience. So I think 120 or 130 hours. Yeah, because I'm always busy with my job. So yeah, I don't manage to get so many hours during the year. I usually go once a year for a few days on a trip. The last years it was Croatia, Italy, always organized by our old flight school. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this bigger adventure now this year. Yeah, and something about me, I think I'm always up for any chance for adventure, so that's also why I signed up directly when I learned about this trip, because when you start thinking and always postpone things, then you never get to do this. So that's also why I chose to get my license back then. So just jump on any chances.
Right.
And then should I hand over to maybe Thilo? You are next.
Yeah.
Below my
Thank
icon.
you. Tony, nice to meet you. So it will be the two of us flying together. The pairing brought it that we two fly.
To go with one of the pretty girls. Why you?
Yeah, the girls want to stick together. That is, yeah, why me? Because I'm an old, unexperienced rookie, just like the French guy you mentioned, 57 hours. So you will be busy, right? With the girls, you had too much fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I always wanted to be a pilot. I forgot it completely. And my soul was knocking on my door a year ago and said, "Hey, you forgot something." And I got my license in Spain. Also, I did my training there, 57 hours. I love to learn, so it was. I really loved what you said about this bush college training. That is something that I'm after also learning, experiencing, making mistakes, no deadly mistakes, of course, but making mistakes, learning from your mistake, getting better every day. And so I'm really happy that I meet raw, pure competence.
Good.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Who are you handing over to, Tilo?
Oh, who's left? Who looks bored? Georg.
Hi, Tony. Nice to see you again. Maybe you remember me. We did the bush course together 2 years ago.
Yes.
You remember?
I do remember the face. Well done. Yes.
Yeah, this was on the P28 Pathfinder on the ZS Joe. So I really enjoyed it. So I decided to join this group because I loved it so much. Initially, I planned to go this year to the safari with my wife, but then Alex and Monica came up with the idea to build a group, what I definitely prefer, especially having you on board, maybe
Yes.
solving some problems with some local people at the airports. I remember our stay at Pilanesberg Airport. Maybe you remember, we flew in and it took us 5 hours to get a taxi from there. At the end, we
Yeah.
returned without being successful. So that's my experience with South Africa. Due to the fact that I did the license with Glenn together, maybe some 6 years ago, and we did the bush course together 2 years ago, we decided that I'm going to join the group with a delay of, I don't know, I think 7 or 8 days. So in the first days, I won't join it. I'm going to fly in on it's July 13th, I think. And
Yes,
then
that's
I'm
good.
going to join the group at Ivamansi Lodge. And I'm really looking forward to be with you on this safari. That's a lifetime experience. And yeah, I'm really curious about what will happen there. See you soon. And I'm very happy.
Good to see you again, George.
Yeah. So I hand over to who's in the group. I'm on my iPad. I can't see who's next.
We have Frank and Bernhard.
Okay, Bernhard, who will be my teammate. Bernhard, maybe you can take it over.
Okay.
Good day.
Okay. Can you hear me, Tony?
Absolutely.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm also flying in Jesenwagen, so I'm used to very short strips. And so maybe we have not so this problem, this difficulties to find a point landing. So maybe I was the first who booked the tour. I'm looking forward for the experiences with you. And I was in Africa a few times, but never doing air safari by my own. So it's the first time, and I'm looking forward for your course. And well, I'm flying with Georg. So I did the PPL 21, and my experience about 200 hours. And so what you want to hear more?
Any
No, I was
fun
gonna
fact
say,
about you? Sorry.
You got your license in 91 with 200 hours, you must fly more.
Pardon? The sound is very bad. I'm using the headset, but the sound is very, very, very bad.
I made a joke to say you got your license in 91 with 200 hours. You're not flying
2021.
Oh, apologies. That's
Yes.
fine. That sounds
Yes.
better.
2021.
Yeah,
Yes.
great. Now we'll look forward to seeing you as well.
Yeah.
Good, Frank.
Okay, hello Tony. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you guys. My name is Frank. I did my license in 2019, also very late. I think one day I woke up in the morning and thought, okay, it would nice to be a pilot. And so I went to the flying club and joined the training. And then I realized it's my passion. And since that time, I flew already almost 800 hours
Good.
with several types of aircraft. I bought a lot. I sold some aircraft. I bought some aircraft, and then always looking for challenges, especially for flying. I did also aerobatic and night raiding and all this stuff. And I always dreamed about to be a bush pilot. And so I thought it's a good opportunity to check it out if it's really my favorite for the future. And so I joined these guys, and I'm looking forward to get new challenges and get new experience in flying.
Ah, we will work your case for you. You will enjoy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
Great.
Perfect. So
Okay, I think we are done, huh? Are we?
Yes, we are. Thank you.
So Tony, now you know the group. Now you know who will fly with you.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. So, one second. So the agenda for today is we will begin with a review of the Africa tour planning, I think, knowing that we will do a deep dive when we are on site. Maybe Tony, you could share some highlights of the tour so we can gain some more insights. Yeah. Maybe you want to go step by step through the tour, or Monica, do we want to share? How do we want to do it? So, or maybe do we have some questions in advance?
Well, can I just talk in general first?
Of course.
Okay. So there's I don't think we should go through the route here on this on the Zoom meeting, because we're going to do that anyway. Firstly, you've seen the program that Alex has sent you for the validations, and then he hasn't included the bush course, the routes, but that's all planned as well with the double ups. You know, we've got to do 2 sessions every day to come up to the hours. And the bush course is a set menu. It has I don't know if this will show you, but there's a map. If you each day has a different color. So just to help you understand that the bush course, you get a nav log which tells you what airfields we're going to go to, what's the elevation orientation, is it grass, gravel, some are uphill, downhill, whatever. But none of the flying will be without a proper briefing for the navigation, for the test, for the bush course, for the flying safari. You'll be properly prepared, and you know we can get into the detail when we all together. For example, we have 2 different aeroplanes flying 2 different speeds. Not we block the Cherokees at 120 and we block the 172s at 100. So I will manually adjust the route because all of you have got the logs with 120 knots, but for the 172s I will amend it. The main reason for you to get the logs was for you to have the coordinates. A lot of people like to load it on their on their iPads for Sky Demon or Garmin or whoever. But that the one thing I would like to ask is because some people are not interested in the maps. And I don't want to waste time drawing lines on maps and getting maps ready for you, because a lot of people just return the maps. So could you give some thought to that, or maybe even answer me tonight, whether you want to take the WAC charts, the World Aeronautical Charts, because quite frankly, most of them are outdated anyway, whereas all the navigation apps you get are far more up to date. I presume you're going to use Sky Demon or NAV Pro or Flight, whatever it is. There are many. So that's one thing I'd like to clear tonight, because I don't want to go to the trouble of preparing maps and nobody really needs them because they're just using the iPad for navigation.
Okay, so do you have a WhatsApp group, and I will do a survey in this group, and then everyone, you can choose whether you want the charts or not in paper, maybe just as a souvenir or just really to work with it, and then I will inform you.
Perfect. That's great. Okay. So let's talk about the route. So we have a schedule, we have the planning. It will all be briefed beforehand, and in some cases we in kind of uncontrolled airspace and we can do our own thing. But when we cross borders and things, we generally obviously have to fly flight levels and under control. The idea of a flying safari is to keep it as low as possible for sightseeing purposes, and you know, the delta we limited to 500 foot, the Okavango Delta. Even at 500 foot above the ground, it's very difficult to see animals. You might, but all I'm trying to say to you is each route has specific things that we can and can't do, and we'll cover that, and people can just make notes for themselves. When we fly, maybe the two Cherokees fly together, or the 172s fly together, or we fly as a group. I mean, you can slow the Cherokees down if necessary. It's not such a big difference. Also, when we fly in a group like this, we could decide that only one does radio for the whole group, or if the two types of airplanes split, one aircraft is doing radio for both. So very little controlled airspace involved, and you know, whoever I'm flying with, I can prompt you what to say. Otherwise, it's again, it's properly briefed beforehand who you have to speak to, what the frequencies are, etc., etc. So flying in Africa, well, one or two of you have already been here. Africa is very different to your organized, regulated, orderly, civilized place. We are wild Africa. So although I live in Johannesburg, Africa has a dark side to it, unfortunately, which I'm sure you're aware of. We have a huge crime problem, and that you've got to be careful. You just don't look like a tourist, and don't go into certain areas. When you hear, you should always be with a trusted guide, or we'll tell you where you can and can't go to. Aircrew tend to stay in very secure hotels with a lot of security and that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, the average black man is honest and is a good person, but we have big problems with, and it's not just foreigners, but we have a lot of illegal immigrants. And unfortunately, if somebody doesn't have We don't have any welfare like Europe mostly has. And if people are hungry, the only way they can get food is resort to crime. So that's just the dark side of Africa. And I'm talking about Johannesburg, the big cities, Frankfurt, New York, Paris, all of them have got their problems. So, there are areas anywhere in the world that you just avoid. And so other than that, people are nice, friendly. Botswana people are Botswana is one of the few countries that still has the death penalty. Some of you might not like it, but I wish we had the death penalty still in this country, because Botswana has got one of the lowest crime rates in the world. Nobody buggers around in Botswana because of they have a very tough stance against crime and that kind of thing. So Botswana people are lovely. The Zimbabwean people are lovely. And there's some funny things about. I came to Germany for the first time in 1978, and I was shocked at how sterile Germany was. I didn't see a bug, fly, or anything. You're going to be, well, it's winter, so it might not be so bad. But I've just come back from Namibia with 2 spider bites, one on my arm and one on my leg. And a spider bite, I'm sure you know, it's not like a mosquito bite that goes away. It lingers for blooming days afterwards. So I've learned funny things, like you never leave your shoes on the ground. It's a nice, small, warm place for a scorpion to go crawling into, and you put your foot in. It's never happened to me, but it has happened to colleagues. What has happened to me is I have been bitten by a spider when I sat down on a toilet. So I automatically lift the toilet seat before I sit down, even when I'm at home, because it's just a habit I've got into. I never get into a bed without picking up the covers. So I don't want any of you to cancel your flights and change your minds, but I'm just telling you, this is because a colleague of mine, okay, they were camping, they weren't in any fancy accommodation. The guy luckily opened his bed and there was a snake. It happened to be a harmless snake, but these are kind of things that happen that you would not have in Europe. So I don't put on shoes without shaking them out. But all the aircraft have to carry water. Botswana, by law, we have to have 5 liters per person. Now, that's actually too much. So, we're already restricting your luggage to 15 kilos. To put on another 10 kilos of water with 2 or 3 people on board. So we carry at least 5 liters of water. Until 2015, you were not allowed to fly directly in Botswana. You had to follow the roads because it's so remote, especially in the desert areas. If you had a problem and you went down, they would never find you. So if you flew over the road, you could land on the road and at least somebody would come across you and eventually. These days, you may fly direct point to point. However, if in the case of a search, they will only search 1 nautical mile either side of that direct line. So one shouldn't venture off too far off that planned route. Another thing with Botswana, in our country, if you fly from controlled to uncontrolled or uncontrolled to controlled, you don't need a flight plan. It's only control to control. However, Botswana, even from lodge to lodge, you have to file a flight plan. Even though I promise you, they don't even know about you. They won't have radar contact in the Delta. But we do what we have to do. And but that will be my problem. For all your aircraft, in all cases, I will do your flight plans. I will do your weight and balance, and that's just in case some authority wants to check that we're within limits for weight and balance. And yeah, so I think that's just to sort of give you a bit of a background. Otherwise, it's all just damn good fun. And in each sector or each leg, I will sort of indicate what's to go and look for and what to avoid. Anything else I can help you with? Can I come back to the if there are no questions on the route, I'd obviously would like to discuss. I know it's on the agenda is the test flight check ride.
Yeah, so maybe are there any questions so far regarding route or anything Tony just talked about? Seems like everything is clear. So yes, I think we can continue.
Good. So if I can just take a step back, when we started doing foreign validations for people like you, life was a lot simpler. Number one, we did the exam. We did the exam. Well, the CAA approved the exam, the briefing we gave you, and the exam we set for you. So we prepared you. You wrote the exam, and we made sure that you passed it. Then we simply took you to the general flying area, and maximum 1.2 hours, did the upper airwork and 3 landings, and it was done and dusted. These days, they want you to sit an online exam, which they've made very, very awkward. They've recently changed the database questions, so there's a few surprises that have caught some people out. Then they've added the navigation. Now it's not just the general flying area. So they've just made it a lot more complicated. And of course, more flying time, it made it a little more expensive as well. But you and I can do nothing about that, unfortunately. We just have to go through the motions. The actual check ride, we are going to guide you through the whole thing. So the navigation exercise, we will brief what we're trying to do. We assist with the navigation, keeping the navigation nav log. We assist you with the diversion procedure. All of that is on the test form. You know, well, I should maybe ask Alex to send you the test form. Are you interested in seeing the test form before you come out?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Would be
Okay.
great.
I'll ask Alex to send it to you, because it's 6 pages of, I say, it's absolute overkill and complete stupidity to expect people like you to have to do all that stuff. And it annoys me because, you know, it's just making life awkward for people like you coming to throw money in the country. They're making it difficult. But that's why, in a way, it's become a bit of a box ticking exercise. We just say, yes, he or she did this, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, if you're not safe, we're not going to tick the blocks, but it's overkill, and we don't do every single thing that's on that. Particularly since in any case, you're going to be flying with somebody. So I'd like you all to relax about this check ride, because some people get all nervous, and thing is nothing. We're going to help you pass and just do the paperwork and get your license. Hopefully that will put your minds at rest.
Sounds really fair. Yes.
Good.
No question, that check ride thing, do we have a few hours of training beforehand, or do we go straight to the authority and do the test?
You got nothing to do with authority. You got everything to do with me. You know, so you just buy me lots of beer and you'll be okay. All right.
Deal.
Seriously, you'll be firstly, we want you to be a bit comfortable with the airplane. So before you jump in and go and fly, we assist you with the pre-flight and prompt you with the start and taxiing and takeoff and all that, and assist you with the navigation. I mean, you're flying in strange airspace. You're flying a strange aircraft. You don't know. We're going to be flying in an uncontrolled airspace when we do the check ride. So we do what's called TIBA, traffic information by aircraft. You do your position report and where you're going and etc., and you have to listen out for the other traffic. Now, you have no idea. This is all strange. So leave that to us. We'll do all the radio work. Even when you go into the control, because that's another thing. It's now a requirement to part of the test is to enter controlled airspace and go and do a touch and go at the controlled airfield. And some people are happy to try it. Otherwise, they let us do it. So it's up to you. We work as a team.
Sorry, yeah, wonderful. But it's not much different from a controlled airspace here. You have a reporting point. You are not allowed to enter before they give you clearance. They tell you which downwind to join. You do the landing. Is it like that?
Of course. Typically, what we do is while most of the airplanes have got two radios, so we would monitor on the second radio the frequency of the controlled airfield. That will tell us what the QNH, what runways in use, and that will prepare us for what we can expect as far as inbound clearance.
So it's a kind of ATIS then. So it's a
It's standard. That what do they want to know? They want to know who you are, what are you, how many on board, how much fuel, where you're from, where you're going, what are your intentions, and yeah, you'll be properly briefed as to what to say, and expect the controlled airfield has got 2 cross runways, so you've got 4 possible runways to land on, and all 4 of them have got different joining procedures and points. So we're not going to leave it to chance. We're going to prep you for landing on any of the 4 landings so that you know what to do and what altitudes. I got standard joining heights and things like that.
Good. Love to do that.
No stress.
That sounds good. We love no stress.
Good.
All right. Any more questions regarding the test flight?
So yeah, I'm slow. I'm old and slow sometimes thinking. So you as a certified or approved examiner, you are doing the test flight, the check flight with us. It's not that another examiner shows up from the authorities. It's you actually doing it.
Exactly. There will be 3 examiners from the school. Myself, Derek, the CFI, and Jason. We know exactly what needs to be done. It's not the CAA or anything. And because I don't want to sound like a maverick, but because they've made it so unnecessarily cumbersome and overkill, we're going to assist you. Otherwise, yeah, we'd have to do 2 sorties, one to check you out and the second one to test you. What a waste of time and money. Nonsense. So we let you do as much as you possibly can comfortably, even if we, shall we say, prompt you what to say and when to say it. But we're assisting you. It's not a true check ride. That's not how we check an initial PPL out, for example. But in your case, we have to help you. Just do what has to be done to tick the blocks on that 6-page test form. The test form used to be 1 page when life was a lot simpler, but now they chop down more trees and find 100 more questions and give us a 6-page test form.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the information. Now I sleep well tonight. That is wonderful. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good. Seems like at this point we don't have more questions, but Tony, have you maybe, I bet you do have lots of stories about flying in Africa, but maybe you can share one with us so we get even more excited about the tour.
Okay. You know, I said to a colleague earlier this week, I wish, you know, when you fly, you log every flight. When you log every training flight. I wish I had started a log for every bush course that I'd done. I wish I had kept a log of all the flying safaris I've done, because all of them have got stories. I get people who ask me, what's your favorite destination, or which is your favorite lodge? There is none, because every single one has its own special thing or something unique about it. But you know, I have my own website. If you have the time or inclination, you can go and look at Tony Kent Flying. I don't update it much. I don't do Facebook and Instagram. I find I get too much rubbish inquiries and things from there. But there's some interesting under flying safaris. There's 2 very interesting stories there. Yeah, what can I tell you? I've had everything except malaria. I've had tick bite fever twice. I'm probably going to scare you all off from coming from all these stories, but this is what you have to be careful. I came back from Zambia in October last year, and the tsetse fly there is it's a terrible thing. They've managed to sterilize the fly. People used to die from it. It gave you what they call sleeping sickness. You just wanted to sleep all the time, and eventually you died. But they still bite and they sting, and the sting stays there for days. So you've got to take the good or the bad. Unfortunately, I've been privileged enough to see amazing things, nature, wild animals. The Victoria Falls that you're going to are absolutely amazing from the air and from the ground. I think it's a good time this time. And sometimes, if there's too much water at the Victoria Falls, you from the air it's beautiful, but when you go down on the ground, you're just walking in clouds. You can see nothing. There's so much mist, and obviously when there is not a lot of water, it's not that impressive. So many good things have happened and some funny things. You know, I always say you got to take the good with the bad. If you have a flat tire or you have a flat battery, you've got to, it's just part of the adventure. It might be an inconvenience. We're traveling as a group. So there's always backup if somebody has a problem, which is comforting. When you're on your own, like now, I've just come through Namibia on my own. If something goes wrong, you just got to make something happen. And you know, I've had to stay in an aeroplane overnight. I'm not very good at recalling stuff, but I'm sure that you guys will log every event. I've had people that are camera mad, and they take so many beautiful pictures, and then they make an album with a story for each day's flying and what they saw and all that. So, yeah, some people just want to come and fly. Some want to see nature and wildlife. You're going to get a bit of everything, I'm sure.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you for sharing about your experiences. And yes, I believe we will have a great time.
We will. I'll probably recall a lot more stories on the actual trip. Okay.
And
Sounds
you
good.
talking about those animal stuff, is there any medicine or other things that we should bring?
Okay, very good question. I take a basic first aid kit because many places I've been to 5-star resorts and I've been bitten by something that I don't know what it was, but it stung like hell. And when I asked them if they had, a nurse or doctor or something, they had absolutely nothing. They gave me tea tree oil. I don't know if you know what tea tree oil is, and it did nothing to my stinging leg. So I carry everything. Definitely take a broad spectrum antibiotic that will cover everything, whether it's flu or diarrhea or something. I take things for diarrhea. I take things for the opposite. I take things for headaches. I recently got an attack of nasal. I don't normally suffer, but plasters and an antiseptic cream. When you get a scratch, you want to put some antiseptic on and cover it up to prevent it becoming a problem. So yeah, just other than normal medication that you might be under, as I say, I've always got a supply of stuff, but I take one set of antibiotics just for myself, which hopefully I don't need. But very good thinking there. I should have thought about that. Can't think of anything else really.
Perfect, thanks.
One other thing to add maybe is that you will never go hungry. Most of these places overfeed you. Even if you're just at a place for bed and breakfast, we tend to have a big breakfast as late as possible, and then maybe an afternoon snack and a small dinner. We basically 2 meals a day is enough for most of us. But some places where you have full board, you get too much food anyway. But what I was actually wanting to say is that a lot of the places we go to are away from civilization. You're not going to be able to get cigarettes or chocolates or anything that you might want to snack on. So I also just carry a supply of snacks in the unlikely event that I need something. Or what has actually happened is where I've had a breakdown and then you sit and wait for 6 hours. And I always carry a cooler box because I hate warm water. So there's always that, you've got to take care of what your needs are. A lot of people drink a lot of water, others don't need a lot of water. I don't drink a lot, but when I do, I want it to be cold.
Okay,
Good
sounds
point.
okay.
And the question I have is regarding the power outlets. Do they differ from country to country or in general?
They do. I take a multi-plug as well. In South Africa, we have the 15 amp plug with a round inserts. But I think Botswana has got the square one, like the American one. So all these travel shops sell you these adapters for different wall sockets for your charger and things like that. More modern places, they've got all that there anyway. But again, that's something I carry with me all the time is different plugs for different countries. So I'm afraid I can't recall exactly which one the Botswana. I think it's a square one, like the American one. It's a three-prong one. But then, as I said, the more modern ones have got the two-prong, like your standard charger for your cell phone or camera battery or whatever.
And do these lodges have an internet connection? So is this?
Say that again?
Yeah, these lodges and the places we stay, do they have internet? These days they're supposed to, but.
Okay, nice question. 20 years ago, when I started, we had big problems communicating with the rest of the world because we didn't have internet and cell phone coverage. We used to use satellite phones, which was very, shall we say, unreliable, and it wasn't clear. To answer your question, yes, 99% you have. It might not be the fastest, but there is internet. Don't think you're going to come there and do your office work because most of them, it's very, very slow. But there is Wi-Fi everywhere just about these days.
Checking emails also, that is all I want to do.
Yeah, internet, emails, cell phone, telephone service might not be available. A lot of the remote places, there is no cell phone coverage, but the lodge itself will have Wi-Fi. Many lodges will only have Wi-Fi in the lodge reception area. They might not have reception in your rooms. It's a good idea to bring a book or two to read because there might be no internet, there might be nothing to see or do, and there's no TV. Most of them don't have TV.
Wonderful. Sound of silence. You see that, remember, that's the sound of silence.
Well, some people can't switch off, you know. So, and I should warn you all that you're all paying attention. I'm an early to bed and early to rise. I'm asleep by 9 o'clock at night, but I'm awake at 4:30 if anyone wants to go for a walk with me, okay?
Awesome.
Same here.
That's good.
Good.
We will be able to share some more stories at the bonfires at night, maybe.
For sure, of course.
Sounds good.
So, Tony, looking forward meeting you in person. Absolutely love it. So,
I hope I don't let you down, okay?
No, you won't, I'm sure.
No. I love what I'm doing. I enjoy sharing my passion, and I want you to go away with some good memories. Yeah.
And let me participate from your knowledge you have and everything, because I love to learn. I love to learn. And I love when somebody tells me, no, you can do that better. That's maybe not the best way. And I love that. So whenever you have the chance, just let me know if I can do something better.
Well, as I said to you, I've done this hundreds of times, and I hate to tell you, they were German. It was one German guy who had an argument with me in the cockpit, and it was an elderly German lady on a bush course. Those are the only two that have ever shown me any sort of negative reaction. Otherwise, I can honestly say everyone is happy, and I will judge. If you don't want to, I mean, I have a simple rule. Now that you're all listening to me, I will only say something to you 3 times. If you don't pick up what I'm saying to you by the 3rd time, you either think I'm talking nonsense or you are not interested in changing. And that's it. You won't hear it from me again because I don't want to sound like a stuck record. You're paying good money to come here and have fun. You don't need some bloody instructor giving you nonsense. So I'll let you carry on in your own happy little world. As long as if it involves danger or my safety, of course, I will force it on you. But if it's just, as you say, trying to smooth out a bit of a rough diamond here, and I'd like to try. And I'm also just learning. I don't know it all. I'm always open to somebody else's. I learned something interesting the other day from a fairly low hours student, and he was quite, and it's got to do with flying lean of peak. I don't know if anybody of you know, we're not going to be flying any aeroplanes. That's only for fuel injected aeroplanes and things like that. But the fact that I learned something after 28 years of flying and nearly 10,000 hours, you never stop learning in this game.
Yeah, true. Wonderful.
Good stuff.
Good. So finally, I would say this is now your chance for the final questions. We already had some before we wrap it up.
Tony, one question regarding the airplane. So we discussed who's going to fly which plane, and I'm going to pick the 172 with a diesel engine. I asked Alex to provide the pilot's handbook or the weight and balance sheet. Maybe he forgot me. Do you have more detail? It's coming? Okay,
It's
sorry.
coming.
Then okay. My question is answered. Seems to be. Okay, thank you.
But Alex,
Yes.
if I could just add to his question is, yes, when I started flying these diesels, they had terrible checklists. For example, it would say, do the FADEC test.
Oh.
But it didn't tell you how to do the FADEC test. And the FADEC test is quite complex. You press a button and you've got to see both buttons come on, and then one must go out, and the RPM must drop, and the RPM and the suction must, you know what I'm saying? So I developed the checklist, which I'm proud to say is now in most of the aeroplanes in their fleet. But that checklist that Alex has sent to you is not a pre-flight with a diesel 172 is not very different to a normal 172. So what I'm trying to say is that is not a complete checklist. It's a checklist from when you're in the aeroplane, you've done your pre-flight and you're ready to start, and it's got all the air speeds and power settings for the different things. So it's just the other thing is I could not give Alex a POH simply because they are different models. Some of those aeroplanes, believe it or not, have got the old Lycoming engine in the operator handbook, so it's not terribly reliable. The people flying the 172s will do a proper ground briefing. And they will know, or they should know, the aeroplane before they go. That's something I like to do before we set off, is just do 1 or 2 circuits before we head off, so that you get an idea and feel for the airplane before you go off into the wild yonder. Okay.
The 182 is that a very different to the 172, because that is what I'm used to, the 172. So the numbers.
Yeah, well, it's obviously got different numbers, but if you've got experience on the 182, you're going to find the 172 easy. It's much lighter. It's much kinder to you for a gentle landing. So I don't think you need to worry about anything.
Good.
But Alex, I think we got a change with the aircraft, right?
Yes.
So
we had some changes over the weekends and some conversations with Alex as well. So Thilo, you will switch from the 182 to the 172.
diesel.
Yes. So we will have 2 diesel Cessnas 172 and 2 Piper Cherokees, so that we have just 2 different kind of airplanes on this tour.
Okay.
For the Pipers, we will also get the manual.
The POH?
Yeah.
Yes. So we received lots of information over the weekend, and we will just make it ready, and then we will upload it into the members area so you can download everything. Because some of the documents are also really big and it's probably hard to send them all by email. But we will notify you as soon as everything is online.
Yeah, we have to read a lot during my flight to Johannesburg. I don't think I managed to do that before. Also the test.
It will be very, very nice if you guys do a little bit of homework and you do a little bit of reading. But I promise you, you will not go and fly the aeroplane without knowing what speeds, power settings, etc., are required. Okay, so do some homework, but don't stress. We will make sure that you are comfortable before we go and jump in. And it's all easy numbers. It's all very easy numbers, easy to remember.
It sounds great. Don't stress is my favorite wording. Yes, it's what I love. Yeah, and as Monica said before, we have received a lot of informations and you will get them during this week. So everyone will be prepared.
Are these Cherokees tools, they're the 235?
A firm, like all Cherokee 235s from the factory, once they get first engine overhaul, it's bored out. So it's actually a Cherokee 235 250. So it's a 250 horsepower Cherokee.
So it's very powerful, yeah. Quite powerful, yeah.
Say again?
So it's quite powerful.
It's pleasantly powerful, yes. And roomy enough and can carry lots of weight. I don't think is every aeroplane only got 2 people?
Yes.
Okay. Then we won't, even with a 172, we will not have a problem, because sometimes the 235 is carrying luggage for other aircraft if there's 3 on board or 4 on board. But if there's only 222, then we don't have that problem.
Yeah, so makes sense.
So,
Tony, what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Tony, one question. We are limited in weight. So, is there a laundry service in our locations? Do they offer laundry?
Okay, so most places offer laundry, some free, some you pay. Personally, I take enough clothes for the whole trip without getting laundry done. We're not on any fashion show, anything, so I don't mind if you wear the same pants 3 days or 4 days, as long as they don't start to smell. I will guarantee you clean underpants and clean socks every day, but I might wear the same shirt or pants more than once, and I would encourage you to do the same thing, just to keep the luggage as light as possible. You know, take 1 pair of hiking shoes and maybe 1 pair of walking. Not that we get to do too much exercise, unfortunately. If ever there's a chance to do a walking safari, you should take it, because you eat too much and you sit around too much. You don't do enough exercise. So you don't want to take like Marcus, whatever name was, with 100 pairs of shoes. Just take the bare minimum. And if you want clean clothes every day, then you just arrange to have some laundry done on somewhere.
Okay, excellent.
So sounds like there are no more questions. So yes, Tony, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your expertise with us today. And we really appreciate all the valuable insights that you've given to us today. And I bet we're all very excited now to fly together with you on this tour. And yeah.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And obviously, you now have my number here. Please feel free to either contact Alex or me directly if you have any questions. You can answer Alex, because he has to supply the maps. I draw the lines on them, but he has to supply the maps. You can tell him what the outcome of your what people want. Yeah, otherwise, please, if anything happens or any questions in the next 2 weeks, otherwise, I look forward to meeting you all 2 weeks' time today.
Yes. In 2 weeks, we are already there. It's fantastic. Can't believe it.
Good.
Great. Okay, then thank you so much and have a great
Yeah.
night.
Good night
Tony?
to all of you too. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you.
So, dann können wir jetzt auf Deutsch weitermachen.
Habe die Melanie verloren.
Ah, die Melanie. Naja, macht nichts. Also es geht ja jetzt eigentlich nur noch darum, dass wir uns riesig auf euch freuen. Und wie gesagt, ihr kriegt noch einen Berg voll Unterlagen. Wir haben 90% schon vorbereitet. Also es muss jetzt nur noch abgedatet und abgeloadet werden. Also von daher, ihr bekommt jetzt noch ganz viele Informationen, auch über die ganzen Unterkünfte und ja, was die Abläufe angeht. Da wird sich in dem Briefing-Paket, was wir hochladen, mit Sicherheit auch über die 2 Wochen noch immer mal wieder Ergänzungen ergeben. Also von daher, das ist eine Präsentation, die immer mal wieder weiter mit Leben gefüllt wird. Aber die wichtigsten Informationen habt ihr dann auf jeden Fall im Laufe der Woche noch. Und ansonsten, wie gesagt, überlegt euch das mit den Karten. Wer da Karten möchte, wir stellen dann noch die Umfrage rein, wer das haben möchte und wer nicht, sodass dann der Toni das vorbereiten kann. Und wenn noch Fragen aufkommen, ja, die haben die WhatsApp-Gruppe. Ich denke, das funktioniert bis dato ganz gut. Und von daher, ja, sehen wir uns schon ganz bald.
Also ich
Kann's gar
brauche auf jeden Fall Karten, ich fliege analog. Ja,
Du fliegst analog, das ist sehr gut. Das
Ja,
ist eine
ja.
super Übung.
ja.
Wie bitte?
Wer? Bernhard oder was meinst du?
Bernhard hat gesagt, er fliegt analog, aber ich glaube, es hat noch jemand gesprochen. Das kam nicht durch.
Ja, ich hätte auch gerne eine Karte, ja.
Thilo? Okay.
Dann
Ja.
machen wir gleich jetzt. Super.
Ja, ich fänd's eigentlich auch besser. Ist auch eine kleine Challenge, weil man es doch immer nur gewohnt ist, dann nach dem Strich zu fliegen. Und man hat so schön gelernt damals. Und ich glaube, man erlebt dann auch die Landschaft viel intensiver, wenn man da immer seine Auffanglinien sucht und so weiter.
Da muss man dann gucken, das stimmt, ja. Gute Idee. Georg, wie ist es bei dir? Hast du noch Karten oder?
Also von Südafrika habe ich noch Karten und ehrlich gesagt brauche ich sie nicht. Auf der anderen Seite habe ich mir das so als Souvenir für Botswana und also Südafrika brauche ich nicht, den Rest wäre halt einfach ein schönes Andenken.
Ja, ist es, gell? Denke ich auch. Wenn man danach
Aber
fliegt und
erwarte dann nicht zu viel. Also die für Südafrika sind bocksteif. Also, die kannst du kaum falten. Vor allem, weil sie schon 100 Mal kopiert wurden. Die Qualität ist beschissen und ich vermute, dass es in anderen Ländern nicht viel besser ist.
Naja, aber Georg, du brauchst sie sowieso, weil nächstes Jahr geht es ja mit deiner Frau nochmal nach Afrika.
Ja, das tut es dann auch mit SkyDeal, ne?
Okay, verstehe.
Ja.
Wahrscheinlich lässt sowieso jeder Sky Demon mitlaufen und schaut ab und zu mal drauf.
Zumindest am Anfang, ja. Ach, übrigens noch wegen den Steckdosen, ne? Also da hat der Alex uns angeboten, dass er uns Stecker zur Verfügung stellt, ne? Alex?
Ja, hat er. Also da werden Stecker für uns zur Verfügung stehen. Also
Oh,
wenn
super.
jemand einen hat, dann klar, nimmt den mit. Auch, was weiß ich, so ein, wie nennt man diesen Adapter, den man in den Zigarettenanzünder reinstecken kann für USB, dass man das Handy, nicht das Handy, das iPad und so mal aufladen kann. Das könnt ihr gerne mitnehmen, aber es wird es auch alles vor Ort geben. Also sollte jemand was vergessen haben, nicht in Panik geraten, es ist auch vor Ort. Genauso wie
Ja.
auch mal allgemeines Mückenspray oder Moskitospray. Da werden auch ja, schon kleine Vorräte auf uns warten.
Also das wäre noch meine Ergänzung. Das ist, glaube ich, wichtiger als sämtliche Impfungen und sonst was. Weil wenn dich nichts beißt und nichts zwickt, dann brauchst du auch keine Impfung. Also erfahrungsgemäß ist das Repelling wichtiger als irgendwelche Medizin. Aber Teebaumöl ist immer gut.
Und wie gesagt, wir sind im Winter unterwegs. Also das Thema Moskito ist, mit Sicherheit wird es da irgendwo was geben, aber wir sind da wirklich in einer Anführungszeichen harmlosen Zeit unterwegs. Also wir sollten da jetzt keine großen Probleme haben. Ich meine, dass man vielleicht mal die Bettdecke zurückschlägt, ob sich da irgendwie ein Kumpano
Ja.
unter der Bettdecke versteckt hat, das kann man mit Sicherheit mal machen. Das ist, glaube ich, ein sehr hilfreicher Tipp. Äh, Aber ich sag mal, was das ganze Stechmückenzeugs angeht, da sollten wir keine Probleme haben.
Also aufgrund Winter und Höhe ist Malaria wahrscheinlich kein Problem.
Genau.
Ja. Und ansonsten mit den Schuhen, ja, also ich tue es immer in den Sack rein, schnür den zu, dass nichts reinkommt, weil das ist natürlich sozusagen das klassische Versteck.
Ja, genau.
Ja,
Ja.
gut.
Ja,
Ansonsten das
also
Übliche.
aus die erfahrenen Recken geht es schon hin, dass ich so Schlangen im Zimmer, ich meine, ich kann mit viel umgehen, aber Schlangen, du, da hörst du mich schreien und springen. Also das ist nicht so mein Ding.
Also ich habe weder Schlangen noch Skorpione noch sonst irgendwas gesehen. Und ich sag mal, der
Wunderbar.
Toni hat ja gesagt, was er hatte es jetzt einmal. Und wie lange fliegt er Safari? 20, 30 Jahre? Also die Wahrscheinlichkeit, dass du da eine Schlange zu sehen bekommst, ist eher gering. Aber
Gut,
nicht ausgeschlossen.
muss nicht sein.
Genau.
Ja.
Also ich war ein
Ja.
paar Mal unten und auch in den ganzen Lodges. Nicht ein einziges Mal, ja, ich will es jetzt nicht verschreien, aber es war nicht ein einziges Mal, dass da irgendwas Größeres rumgekrochen oder sonst was ist. Also die schauen da auch nach, ja, wenn die Betten machen. Aber trotz alledem, sicher ist sicher, mal drunter schauen, auch mal unters Bett. Und wie gesagt, Hauptproblem sind eher noch Schuhe. Ansonsten, was sich empfiehlt, sind eigentlich klar, schmutztechnisch blöd. Aber weiße Klamotten sind immer besser bezüglich Anlocken von irgendwelchen Moskitos.
Was ist,
Ansonsten
mal bitte, was ist mit
helle Klamotten, ja, helle Kleidung
helle?
ist immer besser. Dunkel
Helle
lockt eher
Kleidung.
an, ja, komischerweise, ja. Aber ich denke mal, aufgrund Winter und Höhe der einzelnen Lodges sollte das überhaupt kein Problem sein. Ansonsten, was sich immer bewährt hat, abgesehen von Mückensprays, das sind diese Spiralen. Ja, die stinken zwar ein bisschen nach Rauch, aber die machen diese Viecher vollkommen orientierungslos.
Mhm.
Aber ich denke mal, dass die in den Lodges auch sowas haben. Normalerweise ist sowas eigentlich
Ja.
immer vorhanden, gerade diese Spiralen.
Ja, das kennt man aus Asien, ne? Diese grünen
Ja,
Strahlen, die
ja,
du so anzündest,
ja,
ne? Mhm. Ja.
gut. Und ich denke, Toni, was an Medikamenten da ist, es werden jetzt nicht alle auf einen Schlag krank werden. Ansonsten, klar, du brauchst ein Antibiotikum, du brauchst was zum Desinfizieren, du brauchst im Zweifelsfall Mineralien, ja. Du brauchst was gegen Fieber, du brauchst was gegen Schmerzen. Ja, und ansonsten, ich denke mal, Verbandsmaterial haben die Lodges vor Ort. Es hat der Toni was dabei. Also da braucht man uns, glaube ich, nicht kirre machen.
Nö, das denke ich auch. Also wir bleiben einfach gesund, wir lassen uns nicht von den Viechern aufhalten, sondern wir genießen einfach eine schöne Zeit und haben
Ja.
viel Spaß. Und wehtun
Ja.
wollen wir uns schon lange nicht, dass wir sogar noch Verbandzeug brauchen. Also das wollen wir am besten Willen nicht.
Nee, haben wir nicht vor, aber trotz alledem, ich denke mal, die haben auf den Lodges, die sind ausgerüstet, ja. Ja, so, das
Gehe ich auch
ist
von aus.
mit Sicherheit kein Problem.
Auf jeden Fall. Und auch die einzelnen Lodges, das wird dann
Mhm.
in der Präsentation, sind die Links hinterlegt, wo wir übernachten und so weiter.
Mhm.
Das könnt ihr euch
Ja,
dann noch in Ruhe anschauen.
ja.
Und genau, auch mit den Aktivitäten, die wir dann vor Ort noch machen,
Mhm.
dass wir halt auch nicht nur Afrika von oben, sondern auch von unten
Mhm.
erleben. Und auch Bernhard, zu deiner Frage vom letzten Mal, ob man eventuell vielleicht sogar zweimal über die Victoria Falls fliegt, sodass jeder mal drüber fliegen kann und
Ja.
jeder mal Fotos machen kann. Da werden wir mit Sicherheit auch Möglichkeiten finden.
Ja. Ich denke mal, zeitig ist es kein Limit. Das ist eher eine Fragestellung vom Sprit.
Ja, aber auch das wird möglich sein.
Ja,
Und
ja,
müssen wir dann einfach schauen, wie die Wettergegebenheiten sind,
ja.
wie Sport ist alles. Aber grundsätzlich ist da schon auch Möglichkeit für den einen oder anderen Extraschlenker, weil es soll uns ja auch viel Freude bereiten.
Gut, hervorragend.
Super. Dann, wir freuen
Dann,
uns, dass sich in 2 Wochen sehen.
ja, es rast dahin, die Zeit, unglaublich.
Wahnsinn.
Ja,
Genau. Wir freuen
Wir
uns
se-
riesig und ja, Georg, dich sehen wir ja leider ein bisschen später,
Ich wollte
aber
gerade sagen, wir sehen uns erst ein bisschen später. Ich weiß nicht, ob der Alex das mit euch nochmal durchgesprochen hat. Also er sagte, also ich werde dann auch vom Flughafen abgeholt, weil ich mit der gleichen Maschine aus Zürich komme wie ihr, nur eben, ich glaube, eine Woche später oder sowas. Und dann würde er mit einem von euch, keine Ahnung mit wem, von der Ivermanzi Lodge nach Brackburn runterkommen, mich einsammeln und dann stoße ich dann ich glaube, am 13. dazu.
Genau.
ja, da gibt es immer wieder neue Pläne, aber irgendwie So wird es laufen. Also mach dir keine Sorgen, du wirst abgeholt, du wirst zur Gruppe dazukommen. Wir sorgen schon dafür, dass du dabei sein wirst und auch pünktlich da sein wirst.
Ja, vielleicht für diejenigen, die letztes Mal gesagt haben, ich weiß nicht mehr, wer es war, er wird gerne einen Koffer in der Flugschule stehen lassen. Ich könnte also quasi auch noch so eine Nachversorgung machen, ähm, dass die dreckige Wäsche der ersten Tage geht dann mit dem Flieger runter und ich bringe die frische mit. Also wenn es da irgendwie einen Bedarf gibt. Ja.
Sehr gut.
Ja, wir sehen uns dann ein bisschen später. Aber das macht nicht zu viel Fun vorher, damit ich nicht alles verpasse.
Wir werden dich vorher mit Bildern versorgen, auf dass du dann schon
Das
voller
ist gut.
Vorfreude bist.
Das ist gut. Okay.
Gut, dann hervorragend. Ich freue mich, ich kann es kaum erwarten.
So,
Die alle anderen wahrscheinlich auch.
ja, ich auch nicht.
Ja. Haben wir vorher noch irgendwie so ein Zoom-Meeting oder wie ist die Planung? Oder kriegen wir jetzt alles andere erstmal online als
Genau.
Datenpaket? Wie ist die weitere Planung?
Alles Weitere kommt jetzt zum Lesen und grundsätzlich ist jetzt kein Zoom-Meeting mehr geplant. Wenn aber noch, wie gesagt, Fragen da sind, ruf einfach an, melde dich in der Gruppe oder weil jede Frage ist meistens auch interessant noch für andere. Von daher, und wenn da noch mal irgendwie was ist, mein Gott, dann machen wir noch mal schnell eine Viertelstunde irgendwas. Aber grundsätzlich sollte dann auch mit den ganzen Unterlagen, die jetzt auch zur Verfügung sind, weil wie gesagt, das musste jetzt alles noch zu Ende geplant werden, die ganzen Buchungen fertig gemacht werden, dass es halt auch alles wirklich so ist, dass es ein Abenteuer wird und viel Freude bringt. Das kriegt ihr jetzt alles noch im Laufe der Woche und dann habt ihr auf jeden Fall viel zu lesen, viele schöne Bilder anzusehen und ich denke, das wird die Vorfreude noch weiter steigen. Wenn daraus noch Fragen sind, wie gesagt, meldet euch.
Ja. Es sind jetzt nur noch Leute da, die auch die 172er fliegen. Also ich bin sie neulich auch wieder geflogen. Das dauert halt ein bisschen länger, bis man in der Luft ist. Ja, das ist ein bisschen rumgefummelt da von der Checkliste. Aber ansonsten fliegt es sich so angenehm wie jede 172S, flärt wunderbar, fliegt sich relativ entspannt. Und das Einzige ist, wie gesagt, bis die mal in der Luft ist, dauert ein bisschen länger. Aber wie gesagt, zusammen langsam die Checkliste durchgehen, es ist kein Problem. Und ich denke mal, dass die Checkliste auch identisch ist. Ich fliege jetzt am 5. fliege ich nochmal eine, dass ich da ein bisschen vertrauter werde nochmal. Aber wie gesagt, das ist kein Hexenwerk.
Nee,
Und zur Not der Toni, der unterstützt uns ja. Und wenn ich ihn richtig verstanden habe, hat er auch irgendwie so eine verkürzte Checkliste, irgendwie, so eine vereinfachte, da habe ich das falsch verstanden.
Ich habe ihn so verstanden, dass er eine brauchbare hat. Dass die
Ja,
vorher
so hab ich das wahrgenommen, eine brauchbare, weil die andere,
Ja.
die ist schon so ein bisschen tricky, bis man versteht mit dem Drücken, wie lange was dann passieren muss. Und
Also ich hatte es ja so verstanden, dass er gesagt hat, da steht nur, mach den FedEx-Test oder Check und da steht sonst gar nichts dabei. Und
Ja.
das ist ja schon ein bisschen komplizierter und ich glaube, er hat eine etwas ausführlichere Liste, damit man das ordentlich durchmacht.
okay, die haben wir ja sozusagen in dem Download von Jesmang haben wir die ja auch. Wir können die ja runterladen. Und ich denke mal, dass die identisch ist. Das sind ja die identischen Maschinen. Ja, das ist kein anderer Motor, das ist dieselbe Steuerung. Wie gesagt, im Download kann man es runterladen. Und man kann den Download kann man auch gegebenenfalls in die WhatsApp-Gruppe reinsetzen. Also
Ja,
wenn ihr wollt, dann
ja.
setze ich es da nochmal rein, weil Georg, du hast ja auch über WhatsApp, habe ich es dir geschickt,
Ja,
es hat
hat
funktioniert, oder?
hat geklappt, ja. Die
Ja?
einzige Frage ist, was ist das für eine Cessna? Also ist das eine S, eine R, eine E, keine Ahnung was. Also
Also
ich
was
weiß,
die vor Ort sind, weiß ich natürlich nicht, aber die Checkliste, von der der Bernhard spricht, das ist von der S.
Mhm.
Eine S, ja.
Genau. Und die sind grundsätzlich eigentlich relativ gut, finde ich. Also ich bin die Diesel Cessna ja auch schon geflogen. Also ich finde die eigentlich ganz gut, die Checklisten. Die kann man sauber
Mhm.
abarbeiten. Ob die dann exakt so sein wird, wie der Toni sie vorbereitet, aber ist mit Sicherheit schon mal eine ganz gute Guideline. Vielleicht will der Toni noch mal irgendwas anderes sehen, weil jeder Flugzeugbesitzer ist natürlich auch in sich immer ein bisschen eigen, wie er gewisse Dinge haben möchte. Da müsste man dann schauen. Aber im Groben wird die auf jeden Fall passen. Also ich denke mal, da sind wir auf jeden Fall mit 90% auf der richtigen Seite, auch was das POA angeht. Das ist eine Cessna 172S und das sind Standard-POHs.
Ja.
Das Einzige, was ich nochmal anschauen muss, das muss ich auch nochmal im Falle Motorausfall, wie man sie neu startet. Das wird sie ein bisschen unterscheiden. Ansonsten fliegt sie sich vollkommen identisch, ja. von der Charakteristik wie die normale 172er Einspritzer. Und das Einzige, sie hat viel mehr Power. Sie hat eine ganz andere Performance auf der Piste, was wir eben dann auch brauchen.
Und in der Höhe hast du halt einfach viel mehr Power. Das macht
Das auch, aber sozusagen kurze Strecken, je nachdem, wie dann die Luftdruckbedingungen auch sind. Also das ist eine ganz andere Geschichte. Also in Jesmar zum Beispiel mit dem Saugmotor, also da bist du schon immer ein bisschen am Kämpfen, bis du hochkommst. Und die ist sozusagen nach einer Dreiviertelpiste, da bist du einfach in der Luft. Ja,
Und ich
viel
meine,
effektiver.
ja. Und ich meine, du sparst ja sogar das Leanen bei der, ne? Die hat ja keine Mixture.
Äh, Du sparst dir das Linien, genau. Ist vollkommen richtig. Ja.
Ja. Nee, ich finde es auch ein super Flieger. Also
Ja.
schöner Flieger, mag ich gerne.
Ja.
Und Tilo, der wird auch genug Platz für dich haben. Da habe ich überhaupt
Ja,
keinen
ja,
Kopf.
ja, ja, denke ich auch. Das geht
Ich
schon.
meine, die haben auch alle verstellbare Sitze. Du kannst den Sitz ganz runterfahren. Also ich denke mal, das sollte kein Problem
Ja,
sein.
ja. Das hat ja jetzt in der Ausbildung auch wunderbar funktioniert. Es war halt nur so die Idee, wenn es ein bisschen größer geht, gern.
Ja.
Aber so, bei so einem Abenteuer, dann nehme ich alles, was irgendwie zur Verfügung steht.
Ja.
Definitiv. Da bin ich nicht wählerisch.
Und vielleicht ist es auch nicht schlecht, wenn es ein bisschen vertrauter ist bei dir. Weißt du, jetzt ist eh so
Ja.
viel Neues und du hast gerade frisch die Lizenz, also insofern schadet es vielleicht gar nicht.
Schadet nie nicht, wenn du dich auskennst. Also egal, ob das Lizenz ist, immer gut, wenn du dann in deiner Safety-Zone bist, wo du sagst, ja, da kenne ich mich aus. Ja, klar, logisch.
Ich glaube, wir werden genug Abenteuer haben, wenn ich den so gehört habe, mit 500 Fuß über die diversen Locations drüber. Das klingt schon super. Genau.
Gut. Also von meiner Seite ist jetzt soweit alles klar. Wenn noch was wäre, klar, dann schreibe ich es in die Gruppe rein. Und ansonsten warte ich auf euer Material. Und ja, Karten kriegen wir ja vor Ort dann. Das ist ja nichts zum Ausdrucken, sondern das kriegen wir sozusagen als Hardware.
Ihr bekommt
Dann-
auch nochmal ergänzend dazu jeden Tag für jedes Leck, also jeder bekommt nochmal auf Basis des lokalen Programms, das heißt Easy Flight, glaube ich, oder Easy Plane oder sowas, irgendwas mit Easy. Auf der Basis bekommen wir auch nochmal die Flugrouten. Also da wirklich, wir gehen jeden Tag alles nochmal gemeinsam durch. Wir kriegen da auch, jede Crew bekommt nochmal einen Ausdruck. Also wir gehen wirklich Stück für Stück jede Tour nochmal durch. Also es wird mit Sicherheit sehr gut und auch nochmal fürs Learning und auch für die Rückfragen. Da wird keiner in die Luft gehen, ohne dass er sich unwohl fühlt.
Genau. Und auch die Abläufe haben wir jetzt bekommen, ne, mit wann sind wir wo, in welcher Lodge und so weiter und in welcher Unterkunft. Also das kommt jetzt dann alles. Genau.
Jo. Also von meiner Seite alles klar soweit. Ich würde mich jetzt verabschieden.
Ja.
Lieben Dank für eure Organisation schon mal und ja, allen anderen einen wunderschönen Abend und dann sehen wir uns spätestens unten.
Genau.
Jawohl.
Super schönen Abend.
Bernhard. Bis
2
dann.
Wochen. Bis dann.
Bis dann, macht es gut. Tschüss.
Ciao.
Ciao,
Ciao.
servus.
Johannesburg.
Ja.